in the
Legit.
comments,
That's
so-
how. Holy fuck, that's a lot of dust.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, I didn't see that.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
Next thing I want to talk about, or we want to talk about, is moving out versus staying in.
Yeah.
So, we all know that white people like to kick their kids out at 18, right?
Yeah.
It's like as soon as you turn 18, it's like, get the fuck out of my house. Now, I already know the answer to this, but I want you to explain to them, how does that work in Asian countries or like
People don't move out.
They don't. Not until they get married or anything else.
Yeah.
My parents actually told me this. They said like people pretty much only move out once you have gotten married
Yeah.
and you're planning to have kids. You pretty much live with your parents because, like,
Financial stuff.
I think it's a financial thing. They like to like pool their money together, which is a
Yeah.
smart thing. You know, some of my white friends are learning to do this now.
Yeah.
Like I heard from some people at training, it's like, why do we kick our kids out at 18 when you can stay in, save money, and then when they do move out, they have so much
Yeah, I
more
know,
to save
right?
up.
Honestly, white people are actually following this advice. More and more Gen Z and millennials are actually staying at home.
Or they're moving back in. Or
Yeah,
they move out, they realize it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Unless you have a good reason, okay?
They
Like-
used to make fun of us Asians doing that, but now they're becoming
and now they're taking our advice. But now I think what it is like if you have a good reason to,
Yeah.
for example me, right? I'm very nocturnal.
Yeah.
I sleep very late, and so if I was with my parents and I was trying to make a video at like 12 at midnight, I would disturb them. And so I need my own place. But if you're just moving out because like societal pressures or because that's the norm, or because your parents kick you out for no reason, I think that's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's not efficient. Bro, another reason why people would need to move out early over here, you realize, it's because they want to fuck.
Yeah.
It's probably, it's harder
outside of the parents' jurisdiction.
Yeah, and you can't really like get it on like your parents in another room or something.
They'll have to book hotels.
Book
Wait,
hotel.
how can they actually do that with living with parents? They just have
But
to
they
like,
just sneak, bro.
do
Close
it.
the door.
Oh,
do
really?
it quietly. Yeah. That's how the kids, when they're fucking 15 years old, they invite their boyfriends over.
Oh,
That's how they do
shit.
it. It's pretty fucked up, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just another thing I want to add on as well. When I first wanted to move out, I still remember the text that I got from my dad. Because I texted him saying, you know, I put him down as a reference,
Yeah.
saying like the landlord might call him up, asking about me and my background. And then I just remember the text reply that I got from my dad. I'm going to remember this for a long time, but he said, it's a bit sad to hear this, but I'm proud of my son because you're growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if it was white parents, they're probably like, finally, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, I know,
That's,
right?
oh, man.
Western society is more wild and more
Oh, for sure, it's
violent
fucking...
and less
Violent?
restraint.
Yeah, that's, restraining is a huge thing. And I talk about this in my videos too, like individualism versus collectivism.
Yeah.
You know,
We're
how
less
like,
conservative.
yeah, those things tie up
Yeah.
completely, like, you know, how conservative are and how restricted the society is.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in China, right, we're under a lot of pressure by our parents to do stuff that they tell us to do.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
over here, it's like, I guess as a society and what parents teach kids here
Yeah.
is like, you know, just do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in, you know, in America, you see this message a lot, like,
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about what other people say,
Yeah, exactly.
just do what you want.
Plus, at the same time, like society in Western countries is actually more forgiving. Like in Asian
Elaborate.
ones, if you want to have a good job, you have to get high academic grades. It's not like here. If you fail in academics, you still have a chance. You know, it's unfortunately China or Asia in general really relies on academic grades.
Like, dude, that's why they push it
Yeah,
so
not
much.
all
eh?
skills and things. Einstein actually was a critic of academics or like exams.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, the thing is, a fish is very smart. You know, it's able to swim and stuff. But however, if you only judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, people say it's dumb. And Einstein was like, that is exactly the reason why exams are so stupid. There's no logic behind them. Actually, a lot of like the top scholars say so as well.
I know. And like you say, the part about the exams, right? It's like you're just testing someone's ability to remember something. You're not like testing them how to think critically or solve problems.
That is very true.
Which in the real world, those are the things that matter.
Yeah.
You know, not like, oh, I remember that pi is, I'm talking about the math symbol, it's like 3.14159, some random shit, right? That shit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And in fact, I actually want to mention, because a lot of my audience is quite young, so about like, you could probably relate as well, but like more than half of the shit that I learned in school does end up being completely useless.
That is very true.
Like when do you end up using like algebra equations?
Calculator.
Yeah, calculator. But that's not to say maths is bad
Yeah.
or like useless. It just depends.
You want
I
to
guess-
use in your future field.
That's the thing. It depends what your future field is.
Yeah.
But like, how much of us ends up being engineers and like
Yeah,
statisticians and stuff like that? Most of us don't, and that is the problem, eh? Because in school they have to teach you general stuff so that you can narrow down more. I don't know if there's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell a kid who's like 12 to, pick his future. And now, even
in Asia,
that's what I was gonna say. That was actually that clicked in my head right before you said it.
Yeah.
And I think in Europe as well. I was talking to some of my European friends.
Yeah.
They have to decide like what they do at like start of high school.
Honestly,
Like,
trust me, in Europe it is nothing like Asia. They're still more similar to us. Even though there might be more.
What about like Eastern Europe?
Oh, Eastern Europe might be different.
They're
Western
more-
Europe for sure.
Oh no, Western Europe for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're like pretty much like America.
Yeah.
In terms of like how
Eastern
What's
Europe, I
They're a lot
actually
more
have no
conservative.
clue, but yeah, they're more conservative. But
I
well,
heard of
I
that.
guess their working hours and their academics definitely isn't anywhere like Asia's. Trust
Did you ever go to school in China?
me, never.
Okay, because I did, and the workload there, it's fucking ridiculous. When you were year one, you were probably doing your algebra, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Whereas
in
over
New
here,
Zealand, we
it's
were literally the teachers were treating us like babies.
Yeah, I know. That's what I felt. Because I went to school in China until I was like 7, and I came here, and it's like complete downgrade.
When I was a teenager, I was like, holy crap, New Zealand's so lame. Why is everything downgraded? But then I realized, oh wait, New Zealand's good to be downgraded.
Wait, but
because
stop.
it's more healthier for the students,
Okay, that's one way to look at it. It does depend on the environment.
Yeah.
But what do you mean when you came here? Because you didn't go to
Oh
China.
nah, I actually went to China for like to see relatives, and my uncle took me to a school, and he was like, this is how it tastes. He goes, look at me, dude, and that's so amazing.
Right.
But I was 14, so I couldn't really see the wider picture. But now I'm like, yeah, uncle, you want to believe these students get it, don't you? Yeah, New Zealand's are still more healthier, and trust me, right? You guys are only learning it faster. We learn it slowly, steady. We will get there.
Like I said, right, it definitely depends on the environment.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I said this in a previous SSBTS video, but the reason for that is because, so like in China, right, their environment has always been very competitive throughout history.
Oh yeah.
When you have that much competition, because like over here, people tend to be richer, and so you don't have to struggle as much to like put food on the table.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas in China, I think most people are poor. My family was poor back there, right?
Yeah.
And so, if you imagine you're in a poor family, everybody is poor, you can't really have the luxury to, pursue like entrepreneurship and take a huge risk, right? That's why they make kids study so much at a young age.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Different environment.
For sure. Whereas over here, I think most white kids that you see are pretty well off, right?
Yeah.
Their families are quite rich. And so they can afford to, take risks, pursue entrepreneurship, even take risks in terms of like, that difference between Asians and white people?
Yeah.
I noticed this a lot in primary school. Our parents would tell us like, don't jump off that high spot when you play on the playground. Whereas white people, parents, they don't care. And I think a big reason for that is because, again, it's a risk factor. If you can afford hospital bills for your kids, if they get injured, right, you can let them go and play.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like, because I know for my parents, they're always telling me to be careful. Even though that I'm 24 now, they still tell me. So I think that's a big difference there.